Message on the bridge.
Alien attacks have weakened our shields. You must help.
We are now forward a couple days to August 23rd. We have more pirates, and at this stage there are only 2 pirate options left for this encounter, so we are forced to take one that will give us a minor reward. Now, looking around a bit first, on Achilles we've got a rec center coming in. The hospital is already here. We're going to accept a power shortage over here for the time being. Taxes are now up to very high because that rec center will be ready soon. They're high on the other 2 planets. We're doing well over here. We've got a bar in place on Sand Sterling, and we have a rec center in place over here on Naxos. And so all of that is gradually ramping up, but the need for the hospital is starting to impact our population growth over here, and housing dropping Achilles further as we proceed. So let's take a look at what these pirates have to say. And this is actually a very anticlimactic fight. If you greet them, they will immediately run away. So we're not going to do that. We're going to see if we can possibly sneak over here to the other side of them and then destroy any of them before they flee. But usually that does not work either. Let's go after you now. Yep, they're running. And I don't think we're going to get them. Nope. That's usually the result. So the trader quite enjoyed the entertainment, and they give us 1,000 credits, which, as it turns out, in our current situation gives us just enough to invest now rather than waiting another day. We can throw up a bar here on Naxos. Prefer to build on Sand Sterling, but Sand Sterling needs a rec center, and we don't quite have the cash for that. So the bar it is, that will go up, and then we'll be able to get those taxes increased that little bit faster. So from this point on then, we want to move our fleet just over here off of Achilles for a very significant happening that will be coming up before too much longer. And let's take a look. We still want to... There we go. We just boosted up the morale a bit, so we're going to go up to very high here, just temporarily. And yes, we do have that power shortage. I am going to start repairing at this stage over on Achilles, but I wanted to make sure I had enough money for that bar, so I didn't want to invest in that right away. And that little bit of shortage for a brief period of time is not going to be too damaging to us as we dwindle down to just 3 bear credits left. Now it's the 24th. So let's see how we're doing over here with our bar. I believe it will be done before the next tax cycle. Yes, it will. So we can leave this one at very high, back down to high on Sand Sterling for the moment. All of that is looking well. Now we can do more repairing on Achilles. And also, we should have enough to get that rec center rolling. So let's definitely do that. And I'm going to throw this right in this gap. So it's very much nestled. It can't move further in any direction except for possibly up here. That's once we get that in position, we will be doing very well indeed. And we can boost up the taxes back to very high. Now they're very high across the board. We do have that bar in place on Naxos. And now move forward to whatever is next. Let's take a look at Achilles, though, in terms of our power. Okay, we've got plenty. We've actually got some extra, but I don't mind having spent that little bit of extra money here for reasons that will become apparent before too much longer. Still looking good. Just over 13,000. Now, our biggest population growth need, I want to switch over to that now that we have bars and rec centers everywhere. But our biggest population growth need is definitely on Achilles, so I would probably want to build more housing. But that is going to actually have another solution present itself soon. So instead of that, we are going to move over to Sand Sterling, and we're going to have just enough for a hospital, although we'll be short on power here. We actually need to build another power plant to correct that. But I just want to throw the hospital into this area down here. And I'll allow, it's going to be like maybe 300 or 400 units short on power. Going to get this up to 5,200 required. I'm going to be fine with that. Let's boost that population growth back where we would like it. And still no issues on our planets.
Message.
Lieutenant, our flagship, Thorin, will be passing through your sector. Admiral Mark Tolan will personally brief you in this matter. Meet him in the border area.
Wow. Talk to the Admiral.
Transport vessel Alpha 3, you may land. Dock B, level 4.
At ease, Dante. Welcome to our flagship, the Thorin. We have just returned from a successful battle with the Garthogs. Unfortunately, the Thorin has sustained significant damage. We suspect the Garthogs will attempt to finish us off. Under no circumstances can we let this happen. You must make sure that no one follows us. Inform your superior if you need reinforcements. Dismissed.
So, Lieutenant Dante gets a personal audience and briefing with Tolan aboard the Admiral's command ship. That's pretty heady stuff. And Tolan said, check on those reinforcements. Let's do that.
Sir, I request reinforcements. A small fleet of alien spaceships is following the Thorin.
Very well. Maintain surveillance. I will dispatch reinforcements immediately.
We have received the backup, sir.
This is an important enough situation that apparently the Colonel is going to be much more cooperative. And also, notice the inflection in their voices. The Colonel seems well in control of everything, while Dante is quite nervous and concerned. Let's check on our reinforcements. We have 3 additional fighters now, which apparently were instantaneously teleported across the galaxy. If we can do that, why do we use normal ship movement ever? In any case, that cutscene seems to me that there's an actual purpose to it and also a stated purpose, which is quite different. The stated purpose being, obviously, to give you the information about the Thorin, which is badly damaged, although it didn't look it, and to let you know you need to protect it from the Garthog battle remnants that are coming up after it. But they could have told you that aboard the Excalibur. So why would they have you actually go to the Thorin itself? And I think the purpose really is just to show you that the Thorin is really super cool. So as Admiral Tolan departs, the Garthogs will enter over here about the time that they exit here. So by placing ourselves in between those 2 points, we can be in position to basically meet the Garthogs when they enter our sector of space. Just cuts down on the time this whole thing takes for a bit.
Our sensors have detected alien vessels.
There they go. They came in just above us, and they're moving quite slowly. And this is why. They have only fighters. Let's see if they won't willing to retreat. Notice we have pirate help. That's all of these 5 fighters there. Teach you to dance. Is this a bad western or something? There's a stack of 2 here, stack of 2 here, stack of 2 here. That's worth noting just because there's 7 of them on the opposition here, not 5, as it would look visually. And so now we have a total of 11 fighters aiding us, 5 of them from the pirates, 6 of our own. We are looking quite nice in terms of the overall situation. 60 to 25, we have double their firepower, almost double their number, and then our destroyer here, you can see, is up to advanced crew, so that is also going to aid us as well. So we're just going to move forward a little bit, not a ton. This is definitely going to be a pause-heavy battle. It's going to require quite a bit of doing to accomplish what I want. Now, we normally lose about 2 or 3 fighters if you just did this brute force. You are going to run. And hopefully they'll chase, and the destroyer can knock this out. And I'm trying to leave the stacks alone here and just target the individuals. Let's switch you up to there. Okay, so all they have left is those 2 stacked ones, really. And I want you to knock these out, and I want you to just, like, go away. Because when you attack the stacked ones, they seem like the first one seems to go down a lot quicker. I find it hard to just knock them down and not actually destroy them, so I'm just going to skip that entirely. You are going to run back this way. And we're going to antagonize these with the destroyer so it can get the kills. I think we've got one of them. There we go. Now, we're going to see the destroyer get damaged by this process. But we've avoided losing any fighters. And the destroyer will heal itself up over time. See, that one didn't get destroyed when the bar was all the way down. It got destroyed when the bar was like 2/3 down. That's the problem I was talking about. Which is why I'm not using my fighters to wear them down. Let's see if this one does the same thing. I'm having trouble hitting it. There we go. But see, yeah, the bar did not go all the way down. So just the stacked ones behave weird in combat. We're going to take about half damage here for the destroyer. But we have gotten through. Before his death, the Garthog fighter sent a message, assuming the last one. You have won the battle, Commander, but not the war. We shall not be defeated. We shall hunt you down and destroy you. The Garthogs will rule the galaxy. Yikes. So, apparently now the Garthogs aren't just at war with humanity, but they consider themselves at war with us personally. Like we're one of their personal foils. That's not good. But no losses. 7 enemy went down. And our bonus is promotion to captain, which opens up the next phase of the game.
Message on the bridge.
Lieutenant, you've done well. You've just been promoted. Congratulations, Commander. You'll be boarding your new ship in Sector B2. That sector where you will be stationed is near the Garthog Empire. Apparently your job hasn't gotten any easier, but I know you will handle it. Be careful. Good luck.
Good to see you, sir. I'm McWard, your deputy officer. We're glad you're here. Now, let me introduce your staff. This is Roger, our fleet commander, our technician Carmack, and our mid-tech Catherine Reinhardt. First day's schedule will include...
Alert. Alert. Level 5 red alert. Captain, report to the bridge.
Sir, the Garthogs have attacked the planet Achilles. I believe it's imperative we go there at once and recapture it.
Definitely a lot to unpack there. First of all, what even is our rank at this stage? After the fight with the Garthog fighters that were chasing the Thorin, the victory screen noted we are promoted to captain as our reward. And then the colonel addressed us as lieutenant first, noted our promotion, said, "Congratulations, commander." Don't think he was using that term generically, but it's not the only thing he was wrong about. And then the cutscene, again afterwards, calls us captain, which is the proper rank. This is our first promotion, and each promotion in Imperium Galactica is the way of expanding you into a new chapter of the game, additional responsibilities, and all of that. And we've accomplished that in less than 2 weeks, because it was August 13th when we started. It's now the 25th, just over 12 days. That's pretty fast, but it's important to remember that in Imperium Galactica, everything happens way too fast. The time scale just doesn't make sense with the backstory, population growth, construction, just general events. You need to think of that as just basically being compressed. And then the colonel said that we're going to be stationed now in Sector B2. You get the strong impression it's a different sector than we've been in, but then we've got stuff going on at Achilles, and we need to go there and deal with this Garthog attack. If we take a look, our bridge is different now, but we still have a star map. Okay, so we still have Achilles here, and this is sort of the sector outline, but this is not B2. First of all, there is no B2, and if there was, it would be on the opposite side of the galaxy. This is Sector Q. And we've got this little bit actually outside of the sector as well. We have new controls on the map here that we'll get to. We can zoom in and out, we can scroll around, etc. But also they said, oh, you're going to be stationed close to the Garthog Empire, so things aren't going to get easier. Well, we were just as close to the Garthog Empire before, because the new planets we have are Centronome and New Caroline. And yes, that is the Centronome that used to be the big galactic capital from the old empire. But have things changed because there's only like 5,000 people there now, so it's more like just a weird colony. I don't think we ever are told exactly how that happened. But the point is, these Garthog planets were just off screen before. Now we can see them, and there's more out here. We don't know who this is up here. A little bit more of galactic exploration revealed. We are not any closer to them at all. So nothing has changed with regard to that. I have a feeling that the colonel is just making this up as he goes along. So let's take a look around our new ship. This is the Thunder-class cruiser Terminator. Alright, we're into the corridor here, and we can actually just stand in the corridor. We don't go directly to our room, because we can go to our room, and we can't go that way. But there's also this. So let's just check out what's going on, perhaps this way by the bar. Nobody here right now. Now you'll notice this is the room that we were brought into, or walked into, and met all of our staff, Mick Ward, the XO, the medtech, etc. at the beginning before the level 5 red alert went off. And by the way, what is a level 5 red alert? How many colors are there? How many levels of alerts? Do we know? Of course not. It's just one of those tropes that I find amusing where they give you a number and no context whatsoever, so you don't know how important it is. And of course, now we can go into our stateroom. There's 2 beds. I'm assuming that comes standard, because I'm assuming we don't need a second bed. Our family isn't around unless Dante is up to something that we haven't been told about. And then we have our computer here, which gives us the same basic information as before, really. The help is the same. The aliens are the same. We have no more information there. And then the ship map shows all the same things. They still have living quarters inaccessible off to the side. We just have the bar which we can use to talk to people at other times, but not yet. So there's nothing particularly of interest going on here, although you can see it is a little bit nicer, a little bit roomier than we had previously on the Excalibur. So we'll head back to the bridge. All of our wonderful bridge crew in their place. There we go. And then we have all the usual controls. Again, we've seen the star map, just basic colony information here. We can just head back to the bridge. And here's what happens if we go down to the surface. In this version of the game, it's bad things. Yeah. And that's basically unrecoverable. So let's not use that method to go to the surface, shall we? Since we've seen the inside of our new ship, let's take a look at how it stacks up to the previous Excalibur. You can see the Excalibur much smaller than our Terminator here. By the way, we have two new fighters, the Valkyrie type we've been granted. Those have 4 lasers instead of 2. They also have better shields and better engines. And then we can see the laser port here has been damaged on the Excalibur. Also has, of course, the shields and the hyperdrive. And then the Terminator cruiser that we're looking at now has a shield installed already, so that's a plus. 6 out of 8 weapons, so definitely more powerful there. Also has the ion guns, which are most effective against larger static types of targets, other destroyers and cruisers, as opposed to fighters, which would be more where the lasers would come in. And then we can also install a radar for extended sensor range and the hyperdrive. So clearly this is a much better ship in the comparison between the two. And then there is something else that we need to go see. Production is the new screen that we get. Okay, we can cycle between spaceships. Again, various types. We've got our equipment types. We've got hyperdrives, shields, etc. Weaponry, lasers and guns, but then also bombs and missiles that we can't use yet, tanks, other vehicles, etc. And we can actually build more of these now once you build the factories, which are very expensive. And not only that, but they require a lot of power, which makes them even more expensive. Got to build more power plants, but we have no capacity right now. So this is more of a future thing. We're actually not going to be using this that much at this rank. We'll use it some. And then we actually can't produce anything under the buildings category from here. Those we would build on the planet itself. The reason that's even there is this screen actually doubles for research later in the game. So instead of making a whole new screen, they just kind of threw them both together off the same template. And that is pretty much our tour. Now, where do we go from here? We've got to deal with defending Achilles, first and foremost. And then we've got our 2 new planets to take care of, continue our investment here, and that's just the early part. There'll be many more adventures coming up. Captain's rank is a lot more involved than Lieutenant was, so there is much yet to do. Getting to that starting in the next episode. Till then, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you're enjoying Imperium Galactica.